Welcome to Onivia Highlights. These are the best highlights of today's LPL 2025 Split 1.
Yes, even he's going to be down a level or so. Aki, though, looking for potential angle here onto Care. Gets the slow with a weirding, does do MB. Hops on forward to go across the veil. Care gets a decent gravity field. Doesn't flash. Dies for first blood. NIP on the board. And they've also reset to try and rescue poor Shanji here. And reset the lane somewhat. And loot. Killing her for all she's worth. Vagabonds that FPX would like to be. We play out from here. There goes the Drake. Shanji. Dearest Shanji has actually managed to catch up in some CS here. Ironically. Somehow, despite not having access to like 2 waves, is down a plate, still trading just fine. Leave us in a state that is, I'd argue, still a little bit NIP favored here, despite the poor old Shanji start to the game. Game is still near enough, 1,000 gold, just under to NIP. Right kind of gave that up, but of course, he's not been playing pro for a year or two now. He's been out. He's been streaming. He's been a personality. He's been me, guys. Which is a horrible thought, I know. But he's back to playing pro on Ninjas in Pyjamas. PP God lands the Zenith Blade into the bullet time. And Dua be the man we've been talking about. Picks up a kill on Shadow, who's a shadow of his former self. Which it turns out was really, really fast. No one catwalks quite like an MF. Spat. Got a Valkyrie forwards. I saw what the observers were saying. Flash away from the Solar Flare. But a flash on forward for the Zenith Blade means that it's not Leona killing Leona. It's just Leona killing Corki. Slight weirdness on the death feed there. But that's the feat. Martial mastery there for your feats. Just extending further and further away. Yeah, you've got a decent team fight comp. Yeah, you're certainly going to have damage in spades once the Victor and Corki hit a couple. Another turret plate down towards his bot lane as Care is down here. With Joy behind him, who had a really good start to this game. There were some really good rel moments. Shadow's going to find Aki in the jungle. Gets a permafrost off. The harrowed path comes on down. Care gets jumped on. No, you're going to turn it around like that. Beautiful. As they pick up at least one Care. Wish he'd taken more Care. And teleport in from Shanji ensures that Aki picks up another. Body secured. And Shadow running for the hills. But the time is a bullet to the head. And it is up for Shadow. 3 dead and NIP are making it look easy, guys. That's 2 kills on the Viego. 2 kills on the Aurora. Misfortune picks up another. Shanji with 5 grubs will pick up another turret bot. NIP walking it into a 4,000 gold lead. Sub 15 minutes. Times, especially into a lot of this early damage. The MF build here as well has gone towards the Ghost Blade first. Oh no, Shadow. On a ward! Oh, that's a spectral maw into a hail of bullets. Gets over the wall briefly. The burn and the bullet time! Does enough work to bring Shadow low once more. A third death. A third death for the Szechuan. Maybe overplayed it a little bit at points. And then kind of just ended up inting it away at points, I think it's fair to say. Herald charge in mids. Not really going to be... Now it's a fearless best of 5. Will we see those rock up again? Or will actually another year of play where it hasn't worked out give him a little bit more tempering to his steel? Shadow, Glacial Prison's on the one side to deny a potential engage onto Kerry. Issues with him and other teammates. Gets himself in trouble with management. Gets dropped. Has to go down to LDL to come back up again. Is now on a different team. Of course, EEG definitely didn't have a particularly glorious 2024. No doubt about that. Fight in the jungle will drop. Lure drops a little later. Bullet time comes across alongside the Between Worlds, and FPX run for the hills as Shanji goes looking for an angle onto Bat, who Valkyrie's over the wall, but they still lose leave. And Aki steals the soul of the Iron Horseman. And why are we dropping NIP lore dumps? Because FPX are in the ash form of the Phoenix right now. They are waiting to resurrect. There is no Firebird flying. They are waiting for next. That is safe. And I want to point out as well, Shadow's had this Heartsteel now for 5-6 minutes. Has yet to get a Heartsteel proc. Has yet to be able to auto someone, despite being a Sejuani, but autos are a part of the kit. It is so sad. It is so sad. And you're gone for a comp that's supposed to be there to team fight against another comp that's there to team fight. It is difficult to play like for like comps when the other person's just ahead. It's a sword versus a bigger sword, and the bigger sword is winning right now. Teleports on in. FPX feel they have to play it around the Atacon. I don't blame them. Maybe this will be the moment. But again, another big Aurora ultimate. Another huge bullet time. The turnaround is decent, though. And FPX at least on the board. But the loser Sejuani, and they get one kill. But the cost of everybody else. Sheer and Dwayne try desperately to get something. But it is an ace for just the price of PP Gods. They'll play for it. He died for their sins. Quite literally this time. And then IP will pick up an Atacon. Oh boy. Oh boy. It is a shellacking. I think it is certified. Atlas out there would understand. This is going to be a game incredibly hard. Ludens, plus a stacking Dark Seal, plus a Shadow Flame. When you get your level 9, level 10, where your Q is max. Pretty potent first item on her for a little bit, not the Bloodthirster. And then going towards things like the Essence Reaver, moving away from straight lethality into other options. You've got a very, very potent part of the game. There's another Aurora ultimate. Doomby has not been shy to put those out just to slow people down. And then the follow-up from the bullet time, this combo, with all the withdrawals available, is just too easy in the bot lane. We've got a 1v1 Shanji trying to take out Care. And Care will get a withdrawal at least, but is not going to be here for this fight in the base. And NIP can play fast and loose. They've got withdrawals. They want the Nexus turrets. Aki goes flashing for a Spectral Maw. Might finally die and does so, and they'll all have to withdraw it out of there. The Nexus turret stamp it. The inhibitor is down to FPX. That's what, 5? And NIP continue to run this game. They are efficiently 9,000 gold ahead. They've got the feats. They've got themselves the Atacon. They've got themselves Soul Point. Doomby has said, screw this game. I'm picking up a Magi's. Leave has gone, that's great. I'm picking up a Lord Dominic's regards. At this point, you cannot build enough armor into this MF to not be hurt. Baron, you're looking for a miracle. You're looking for a steal that might allow you to stall and get a third item on your Victor and Corki. If there is some way that NIP fumble their wave shoves, fumble this Baron, then maybe you get a way back in. You need that third item. But I just don't know how easy that will be for NIP to do. They are so far ahead of the curve, but PP God has gone a little deep. Not the cleanest combo we've seen from NIP, but they still killed off Care regardless. And Leave just picks up 2 with an auto and a Q or 2. And a double tap. Follows the Zombieland rules, ensures that 2 people are dead. Shanji's teleported in. Or rather, just walk in. There is no teleport, because of course it was FPX trying to find an angle, and that's the game. It's over. Ninjas in pajamas put this game to bed. And let's be real, they didn't have to try all that hard. It was a very smooth snowball from start to finish, with the exception perhaps of that first 2 minutes where the lane swap looked a bit dicey. Wait, Doomby Ricehack 450 CS a minute? Is it happening? The Ricehack is in. They got taken to school, and the old masters of Doomby and his crew whacked FPX, even if perhaps, and he has to leave the team. He's got back on RNG. FPX kind of having a rebuild. They've got Sheer, and maybe an angle on in here actually as the paranoia has popped. And FPX, part of the reason I was having this conversation was it's a team with some players who were bargains, shall we say. Good players on teams that weren't always that strong, and players coming up from LDL. And they're just going to keep diving. NIP are not giving FPX a second second to rest. That's the term I'm looking for. Shadow will clone out briefly. Shanji W's away from the turret aggro, and they can't quite claim the Wukong as well. But NIP pick up 2 kills. They pick up a load of summoners, and once the Jin cashes in this cull, FPX is going to start realizing that some of those early investments that NIP have got will pay off. Shadow, when looking for this invade, got the red buff. There is the paranoia. Flash away from Shadow. Shanji's thrown down. Nature's Grasp. Aki popped the paranoia but didn't go deeper. But Doomby's donated the kill. The invade doesn't work. And it feels like FPX, when they're making these plays, when they are looking to respond as well, 5v5 being set up for Leave on a pretty good angle to look for the curtain call. There's the paranoia. Aki yet to go on in. Wukong uses the Cyclone. Aki into the backline. Bat flashes away. The curtains are called. And Jin begins to start off that third act. Aki likely going to fall down to Sheer. Their health bars on the other side mean that the junglers have been traded. Though as Dway goes into a bailout. But there just isn't enough gold to save that particular investment banker. Care forced to run away from Doumbé, who is throwing some overloads into the back line. Sheer just about alive, and the shockwave disengaged Doumbé. The solo laner survived from FPX, but everyone else does manage to run away. It's quick enough with a bull and a turtle to his name to survive the attempt on his life that left him great win rate, so to speak, compared to previous season. What they have done, though, is just be a marker of that a team is already ahead. And here's a TP behind. Oh, FPX. This is going to be scary. Cyclone comes on down, but that's part one. Deadly flourish in the curtain callers there. And Shanji with the roots from the other side. The arrow lands onto Doumbé. The turnaround is pretty good. But this is still a very tanky rise. But the hostile takeover and the counter engage finally works. Finally works. FPX have been asking for this combo the entire time. Bat lands an arrow. The hostile takeover comes in. And Doumbé's rise on the 3-1-on-1 goes down. Will come at the cost of the mid lane turret. But hey, FPX get first turret in the top side. And actually, no wave means LIP gonna have to wait a second or two to clear this one out. And how aggressively do FPX want to trade with that? But a good moment. And we're asking, can FPX punch back when they need to? The answer, apparently this time, is yes. TP in again, though. They want to just do this all over again. Rice doesn't have a realm warp. But Doumbé being here will look to come and play with Shanji to get these waves shoved. Herald has spawned. PP God pulled out of his grand entrance. There's Aki with the paranoia. Nice handshake from Dre. Yes, the flash and heal are down, but he doesn't pick up the kill. He offers CC. He engages. He is great with gold because he loves a couple of those items. That's a good start for Shadow, who again, starting for the first time here for FPX. A player who has been playing for a lot longer, but hasn't been a starter for a while. Donates the big shutdown. Punish and NIP brings the goal back to close enough to even that this dragon fight should be intriguing to say the least. Rise splitting. Aki pushing in the mid lane as well. Of course, can join a little bit easier with the paranoia. Would be so point for NIP, but they're not forced to fight this if they'd rather play for the structures. Paranoia now down. PP God with the quickness. The curtains are called and the artillery is summoned, but Shadow says absolutely none of that. Nimbus strike. Warrior Trickster, Cyclone, down goes the Jin. Yes, they get one back, but it's already 2 for 1. NIP in danger as Shanji falls well as Bat. Rangers focus his way down, and Sheer over the wall, running at Doumbé, showing that yes, you might be the old god, but I am as new and prodigious as they come. FPX with a 4-for-1 team fight. They get the dragon. Side lane play, have just fumbled an objective play. It can get tricky. Aki with the Sterak's Nest is going for a tankier frontline build. The Instigator build. Big PP Gold knock-up. And the split play happens. Shadow split. Still gets quite a lot of damage. The hostile takeover is decent, but the Realm Warp out! Oh, Doumbé finds a moment. Flash on him from Shanji. The curtains are called. And Doumbé pulls the rug with everybody else riding on top of it out from under FPX's feet. Atacard is up. That was spectacular. And Sheer faces that old school Pokemon move. It is Sheer cold. He is one hit KO and down for the count. NIP pick up Atacard. Phenomenal hostile takeover that is denied by an even better Realm Warp. The angle looked superb. It just doesn't work. Oh my bay. It is superb. You rarely see mid-fight Realm Warps. It's so easy to interrupt a Realm Warp. It doesn't happen. They get more kills. They get the Atacard to trade back on out. So we soul point for NIP, but of course they were denied that one beforehand, so it's not soul itself. Care. Hit with the Maokai ultimate. Nature's Grasp came along. Sapling's beginning to fly on in as well. The teleport's now here. Doumbé with a flash. Could be really obnoxious. Shockwave comes onto 2, but the follow-up from the Jin into a Realm Warp to keep chasing. How far are they going? They're trying to catch up Shadow, who will get out to safety himself and be all right. And when you've got your Maokai, when you've got your Nocturne, when you've got your Rise, your Jin, you can just do this. Should you so choose. Aki, though, has gone pretty deep. The hostile takeover comes across one. And Shanji now pretty damn deep, but Doumbé is here. And the curtains are called. Shadow will be tunked a little bit, but the curtain call just to dissuade is what it will be. And that's triple ultimates and a flash. Yes, of course, Care and Shadow had to flash themselves. So in the end, ends up just being a trade of summoners and ultimates without really getting huge distinct advantage, I think. Though, of course, Care no flash, dangerous, is now more of a target. Got the replay, it's Care in rotation. It's Care in rotation. Young academy player since 2021. And then gets overshadowed by 1xN, who is a player alongside Milky Way, who I was absolutely in love with. NIP on Infernal Soul. FPX with the likes of Bat asked to come and contest, and we started story time because FPX could not contest. The arrow comes on through, and that's nice. It interrupts the curtain call, but you've lost Infernal Soul. Baron's up, and NIP, again, this is their game to lose. And when you've got young players like Bat who, yes, have been playing for a while, but have not been given the chance to stand up to LPL level, versus the likes of your Doumbés, who have been world champions, and your journeymans who have really had time in LPL to prove they are worth being here. Your Shanjis, your PP gods, even your Akis and the like as well, might not have had the best year, but have got that experience. It is a tough call for FPX, who are full of such young players or players who are inexperienced at this level, to deal with plays like this. The Realm Warp not taken for once, and FPX pull off the Baron. Now Aki on the flank could be scary. Shadow looks for a play, but the knock-up is brutal. And Rise absolutely unloads, overloads. Come on, Iv. EQ, EQ, EQ. And it's looking like a magnificent audio sound wave, courtesy of Rise. He is an audio engineer at heart. And you know what it sounds like? An absolute flatline. It is a single long beep to signify the death of FPX. Man, they had a moment in this game. They really did. It looked like they might have been able to drag it back. And then NIP with some absolutely clutch team fights, with some wonderful picks, say it was just... I have hope for some of these team players. I have some hope for this team come spring. This wasn't an easy draw. They've got a lot to learn, yeah, and it was always going to be tough in winter, when you have gotten 2 weeks and then a holiday to try and get ready for this kind of best of 5. They made it to playoffs, and congratulations to them. But NIP are on a different level, I think it is fair to say, and there will be moments for these players, I have no doubt. I don't think it will be today. It will certainly not be this game. Oh, my days. Trying to curve the bullet, holding the curtain call, trying to ensure that Dwayne and stuff can't get on over. The Nature's Grasp comes on through, and Dwayne hit with the roots, but it's just pulled FPX off the towers. Those zone control tools have forced them to cede the front lines, leave the trenches, as the mortar strikes come on through, and it comes at the cost of the inhibitors. With Baron on as well, inhibitor falls in mid, in bot, and the game is washed. Shanji and Aki, the hype 2023 OMG duo alongside Cream, that top side that was so cool, so interesting, looked so threatening, and flopped last year. I oversell it a little bit, but they were underwhelming. They were not top tier in so many ways. Did not deliver in the way that people hoped of them, and there were high expectations. A shockwave combo comes on in, and that gets leave. A last gas from FPX. The bailout's not bad, but now FPX on the backline as Bat is forced to run away as Aki deletes the AD carry. They've gotten rid of the bot lane, though. The problem is this Rise is so annoying, and Shanji just runs at them with Aki. Maybe Sheer can bring down Doumbé. The Rise hack cannot stay alive, and NIP, I was about to start praising them. And FPX pull the trigger and hold on just enough to bring it to a 3-for-3, but you're behind, right? And even trading kills is about as good as it gets. Sheer doing his best to run at Shanji, who actually doesn't care at this point. That's hilarious. He's just so tanky. But you've lost all 3 inhibitors nonetheless. You can't end the game right here, but what have you done? I feel like on this Udyr is still enough of a threat, even on the Udyr, to get the 892 gold shutdown. That's valuable. The problem is, Elder's spawning, and you have to leave your base now. The shockwave is decent, but Leave has flash this time. Gets to flash this time. And it was, in the end, a last twist. A last twitch of the corpse as the electricity was pumped through their veins, and galvanization doesn't bring you back to life. This ain't Frankenstein. And unfortunately for them, the Phoenix will not be showing a revival in this game too. They are truly dead in this one. And NIP finally put that nail in the coffin, bury game 2, and FPX with it. Aki flashes to ensure there's not even a reset allowed for Sheer. They're holding to try and get a little bit of an extra kill. They won't allow it. NIP, it's a different draft. Happen this game. You've got a little bit of tools to come help you get out. Zyra ult might be. The Sivir ult to either speed you up or get you out can be pretty valuable. Just by basically pressing QW. It's really annoying. And Shanji, trying his best to be useful topside, get to that level 2. Sheer back to the lane. Still has level 3. Throws on a Volcanic Rupture onto PP God, but he's not taken turret aggro yet. Nice charge, though. The heal comes on through, and the dive works out. Turret is scary, but not scary enough to dissuade the dive. Shanji has to flash away. It's a good matchup for Silas. We'll play that matchup right now, and Shanji, about to be on the wrong end of a dive, will flash, slice, dice, try to get as much damage out of the cannon away. Will not fall. Oh my days, 14 HP. Nice kill onto the Crocodile, who did not have the dominance to work with. Aki is here, looking to punish Shadow, but that's still pretty scary. Flash on out of the Strangle Thorns. And now a fight over the blue buff commences. Who's got Smite? Neither jungler. I think they both used it. The thing is, NIP is a champion in the sense that we saw her a lot last year. A lot. To mixed success depending on what region you were in. And a lot of that was predicated on, have you been able to get this Tristana single target? Needs to get a lot of autos off to get her bomb on, and that's not always that easy. And if you get stalled at 2 items, you just don't have the damage sometimes to deal with people who build some of those tankier options. Shanji's gone forward here. Will get knocked out, and NIP overstep a little bit there. Give over a kill to this Tristana, and a Tristana that has done a good job. Picking up some gold could be pretty scary. Doomby's going on forward, trying to get the kill. Will likely trade on out. The Kingslayer is solid, but it ends up just being an extra kill. Oh, the Tangle Buff's just shy. Remember, Shadow in the Requiem can still do a lot of work, and Care is safe enough to survive. Ends up being a 2-for-1 for FPX, and that's just the feat of martial mastery to them. Good for the side of FPX. Aki, though, with PP God and the health bars being so low, and 6 grubs, will be able to likely trade out at least a plate here. Maybe get some more. There's a Requiem being chat. Oh, goodbye, PP God. The burn. Oh, he's not quite got it even with the Black Fire Torch. Just about alive. 13 HP I just saw. Probably lower. I think there was a tick of regen coming on through. Oh, Shadow. He's going to be so frustrated that one didn't come through. Sheer on the other side has to flash. He's doing B. Has teleported, looking for this angle. Can't quite find it, but we'll get the flash. I can see some... Still very frustrating. At least got 3 assists. Your Tristana is 3-0. Care is a win con this game. That'll be another turret that Tristana gets. Great news. You want that early gold on that Tristana to get through that dip on the 2 items. Has been roaming around a lot more. And it has come at a bit of a cost. I mean, NIP are still up in gold, and a lot of that's in the jungle. But this Tristana could be really problematic. Look who's a roaming. Here comes the Sivir with the ultimate, and Sheer goes down. Shanji picks that one up and is a grateful recipient of the kill, as Leave pressed on the hunt to join the team. And as you said, Leave has got a wave, has got 6 grubs, will force a teleport. That's half the turret HP. Just walks on out. Ornn's there. I don't think it's going to force anything else. Flash for the flash read on that massive turnaround. The buster shot out of the Pot Blossom. And Zyra is here. At least gets one back. Oh, beautiful moment. It looked great. That buster shot secured in terms of feats of mastery for NIP. Kills secured by FPX. And it's the first time, really, that they've been the ones who've been leading the way when it's come to starting off a lot of those kills. Leave. Nice spell shield, but Care jumps over the wall with the rocket jump. And an explosive charge alongside a Requiem. Ensures a kill onto the Sivir. Had nowhere to go. And NIP get a decent knock-up with the Stranglethorns, but they just can't run far enough. Care flashing, trying to get the last auto. The plants, not quite enough to burn. Finally gets a shutdown on Care, but the damage is done. That is 3 dead in the blink of an eye, and 2 of them went to that Tristana. Pop Blossom isn't bad, but the turnaround is super well buffered by Sheer using the Bellows Breath to ignore the CC. Sheer tries and gets one back. That's bat down. Has got a lot of healing, but just doesn't have enough in the tank. Shadow stays alive, picks up a kill. And now 8 stacks on the Dark Seal. Stops him getting through on a good timing. Forces him to flash and then use the Ruthless Predator to get onto the Varus. Great hop from Care. Buster shot back, but is buffered well by the Rocket Belt. And Care falls. Doomby punishes. Big moment and a shutdown going to the Silas. And NIP still actively with a gold lead, by the way. Despite the Rocket Belt Zyra, who basically Rocket Belts through the Buster shot, and the wall behind as well means there's not that much far you can get away. Trist shut down twice in a row. I think so, but I'm not actively sure because I think Trist was 5 and... I think so. I might be wrong. I thought with the 5 and 0 there was enough of a shutdown that Trist still had it, but maybe I was wrong. As Karthus disappears from this mortal plane. My days. Nico hits him with the Tangle Barbs, and Karthus scaling incredibly well herself. Reminder, Essence Reaver, Yundao, Wild Arrows will do a lot of work as this game goes on, as we look towards, I think, what will be an Infinity Edge third as well. There's not that many armor builders as yet. There will be eventually, of course, but hey, you've got yourself a Black Cleave. With Karthus able to follow up, you can jump on someone like this Sivir and blow her up. The team fights are theoretically easy. Well, it's not like NIP don't have tools, and they've certainly got carries with gold. FPX are going to come and play this one. Call of the Forgery God. Doomby forces like every flash under the sun, but the Pop Blossom is awful. There's nothing for it to grow in. It's a 1-for-1 right now, but then Care starts firing, and they lose the Sivir. They lose the Nico. Yes, you've lost Shadow. That's the smite down. That might be enough, but can Aki and Doomby with Shanji alongside be enough damage to stop this dragon? I think you've got enough frontline and CC to allow these 2 AD carries to really punish NIP. Aki without flash as well. Not going to have an easy time getting towards this dragon. But slowed by the Ocean Dragon. Remember, the Ocean Dragon's slow is really, really obnoxious. People forget how obnoxious those slow on autos are in this dragon. But FPX just say, we can't fight it even with the man advantage. We don't have enough to deal with the smite and enough of the front line. So down it goes. We've got Nautilus on. Surely we can play this one out, but if they go too far forwards, the counter engage with the Zyra is still really obnoxious. Chwei, Spider-Manning to safety, but there's a stolen depth charge. Puts Chwei into danger, and Leaf gets that one. PP God, Zhonya's, over the wall goes K. He's down to half HP himself. Shanji looking for an angle. Doomby also looking for an angle. And that means Shanji to the backline on the Renekton. Buster shot alive, keeps Care. He's got the honey fruit, keeps himself alive, and Bat will get one. The problem is, your double AD carries aren't there to play, and you lose 3 members because your backline was dealing with the Renekton. And that's Atakan. Surely it's Atakan. There's no smite. And there's no frontline either. Your AD they can. You've got a Sivir and a Zyra. This will die. Hell, Silas ain't exactly low DPS either. If he can swing through the rotations, can be a bit mana hungry, but I think it's just gone. Baron's dead. Care will trade out with a tier 2, but they say, look, we don't want to fight. We just want to get as much gold as we can and play out with that. And especially the problem is, you've lost Atakan too. You don't realistically win the Baron fight. So you have to trade out where you can, but now you've got Baron, and you didn't have mid lane shove, and you still got Atakan withdrawals to work with alongside this Baron. This shove could be lethal. Picks up a 3rd item on Bat, who's got a wit's end. You've got 3.5 items on Care. You have the damage to fight. Potentially. But if this breaks the base in too meaningful a way, FBX are going to struggle to ever leave their base again. Call of the Forge Guards. Sorry, Call of the Forge God. On the other side, PP God goes in and Karthus dies again. They cannot keep this Karthus safe. Shadow is a Shadow again. Is forced into that Wraith form, doesn't pull the ultimate, doesn't want to waste it. It's still on too long a cooldown to think about popping it early, especially with the withdrawals available. Wants to try and hold on to it for a last gasp defense, but that's inhibitor number 1 down in the mid lane. Inhibitor number 2 with 6 scrubs, and Baron falls in the blink of an eye. And Ninja's in pajamas. There's nothing ninja about this. This is a battering ram to the front door. This is ninjas in the sense of like the Teenage Mutant Ninja. Okay, so Dragon spawns in 5 seconds. And we are about to find our way towards Tristana desperately shoving away. Needs to try and hit 4th item. And in fairness, Care at level 16 with the Draw a Bead passive. If you've gotten this, Lord Dominus regarded as the fourth item. If you get free time, you will destroy people. But I just don't know how easy it's going to be. Chains of Corruption land, stolen from Doinby. Shadow just about alive this time, but it's just not being able to stay safe. Good rocket jump away, but Doinby's gone golden. The tower falls. Call of the Forge God summoned across the backline, but PP God will force the Searing Charge away, and the inhibitor falls regardless. And NIP now down every inhibitor and about to lose some points. Your Sivers and Silas, of course, and even the Renekton, of course, will have some as well. So, understandable choice this game, I think. Their sole point. Can you get a fourth item on the Varus? Maybe that'll be enough. Can you let this Tristana actually auto-attack? But it feels like the front line, they're the part of the map that has really suffered for FPX. Yes, you've got gold into your carries, but the front line isn't working as a front line to give them room to attack. Not really. Lasagna's now compete for PP God as well, so a lot harder to pick off. That Nico is snowballed hard enough to be a threat. There's the Pop Blossom, flash away. Bat has to flash on out himself. Big set of summoners to lose. Your flash, your cleanser, what could be the final defense? NIP shove on in, Shanji to the back line. Bat doesn't have any more resists. He gets it, stays alive, but you've lost two already because the ricochets fly on forwards. The Requiem comes on in, but it's just for FPX's dream. It is a final song. They're trying to play it out. Bat does not have enough in the tank. Care was dead, and NIP make it a 3-0. This team